because we found prepaid legal. It was introduced to us by a total strange lady that at the time was sleeping in her car. And had she not shared prepaid legal with us, we probably would have been sleeping in our car shortly because we were flat broke and our house is in foreclosure. Some of you know that story. You've read it. But we were blessed that evening that she shared it. And we grabbed that opportunity.
But for what we've gone through for the last 9 months, I'm on a crusade. I'm on a mission. And y'all better get on that mission along with me. And you better not, because let me tell you, most of the time I do these talks at the end, at the close of an opportunity meeting. And you know what I tell them? You might as well just lock the doors because ain't nobody leaving until they sign up, period. And you better have that attitude. And they better come in this business because there's not one person out there that doesn't need this membership. There's not one person out there that doesn't need to come in this business. So I'm going to share a story with you that'll get that point across. But let's say that you all have gone through life, never been sick, get very few colds, haven't been in a hospital, never had any problems. But then one day, you start getting a little pain in your leg. And it's not bad, but you think, well, you bumped your leg, you bumped the muscle, and it's just bruised the muscle. So you don't think much of it. But over the next month and a half, it starts getting a little bit worse. Then all of a sudden, your wife makes you an appointment to go see a doctor, your spouse. So you go to the doctor, and I'm just going to shorten this. The doctor comes out and he tells you that you have level 4 cancer with a baseball-sized tumor in your kidney that has metastasized out and gone into your leg and ate up part of your bone in your left thigh. And by the way, he tells you that you're not going to be able to work anymore. At the same time, he lets you know that if your spouse is working, they're probably going to have to quit work and stay home and take care of you. What would a lot of you do in a position like that or non-associates? It'd be pretty devastating, wouldn't it? I mean, it's devastating enough to have this problem, but now you got to worry about financial because you have no income coming in because you're not out doing something. Fran was able to tell the doctor that, the financial part is not one of our problems. Because we chose several years ago. Because we chose several years ago to spend our time building a prepaid legal business. If that happened to most of you that haven't really built your business yet, that couldn't survive on the income from your downline, what would you do? You couldn't go out and do it on your own. And if your downline hadn't been strong enough and built up enough yet, you're not going to have the income to be able to survive. But see, that wasn't one of our problems. You see, when we went through all of this, I had to go into the hospital. I had to go in for some surgery. They had to drill out my thigh bone from my knee to my hip and put a steel rod in there. And when they did it, the cancer had doubled the size and ate about that much of the bone away. But they finished it. Well, when I come out of surgery, and I didn't know this because I was still out, Fran was all upset because they said they were sending me home as soon as I woke up. Now, I just had that surgery, and I'm going to tell you, I could not move my leg one way or the other. The pain was excruciating. I mean, it was bad. And so she was all upset, didn't know what we were going to do. Our daughter had to tell her, we have an attorney, call him.
She did.
And she did. And let me tell you, we got some good advice. You see, they know what most companies are supposed to do for you. You don't. Bet you haven't read your policy, and if you did, I bet you didn't understand it. And so he gave her some advice. So she got a hold of somebody, did something. Guess what? I didn't go home. I stayed in the hospital. Now, if you were someone that wasn't in a prepaid legal business, or you're an associate that hadn't gotten started, or you didn't own a membership, and you'd been out of work for 3 or 4 or 5 months and you were broke, and let me tell you, you would probably end up losing everything that you had tried to accumulate your whole life if you weren't in this business and built something like that. If you had been out of work all that time and you were broke and didn't have a prepaid legal membership, what would you have done when they said, I'm sending you home? Do you think somebody you know that doesn't own that membership could afford to get on the phone to call an attorney to get some advice at that point? Would they know who to call if they even had the money? No. You better make sure everyone has this membership. What it'll do for you. And I stayed in the hospital for 3 days. And you better talk to everyone about this membership. You better talk to everyone about this business. And don't let them say no. Don't let that happen to them, because there's not one of you or anyone out there that knows what tomorrow's going to bring. And if you're out there just piddling around, you better get after it. Get after it right now so you can build up something in case this happens to you tomorrow. Because something's going to happen. And it's entirely up to you how you decide that you want to live your life. But then a lot of people say, well, that's easy for Fran and Woody because, we're just good. We know how to work this business. Well, I'm going to show you here in just a minute how bad we are. Matter of fact, I challenge any person in this room, I challenge you to be as bad as we've been. And I'll bet you can't do it. I challenge you. We started new January 1993. Started new in this business again. That's all I'm going to talk about is since then. Over the last 6 years, we have personally prospected only about 255 people. That's less than one a week. Is that working hard? But we were so good out of those 200 and something that we prospected, only 80 of them signed up. How bad is that? Means 170 of them told us no. I bet you can't be that bad. I challenge you, go try it next week. But let me tell you what it'll do for you. See, out of those 80 that signed up, we only have about 20 of them that are working. We're not very good. But I'm going to tell you something, that's just the way it is. You can't change that. You're going to have about 80, get about 20 going. We have some of our organization come to us and say, you know what? We got 3 or 4 people, they're not doing anything. Man, this ain't working. Well, first thing I tell them, go look in the mirror and you'll see what ain't working. The next thing I tell us, isn't that great? You see, Fran and I have more non-working associates than you do. If you want to make it build what we built, you've got to find you some more that won't do anything. Y'all been getting discouraged and looking at this business wrong. If you go talk to somebody, try to recruit them, they said, I'm not going to do anything. Say, good, I need you. Because see, if you get enough of them, you'll find a few that will, and we only have 6 that have really gone for it. 6. And today our organization since January 93 has produced somewhere around 190,000 members and 85,000 associates spread across the United States, and we don't even know who they are. We love each and every one of them and hope we get a chance to meet them. But what about you? How soon do you want it? Do you realize we added up our 1099s last year? And we were not able to work the last 5 months of last year, yet checks came in. Why? Because we decided to get a little sense of urgency when we first signed up. And by the way, when we first signed up, we recruited about 15 real fast in the first couple of weeks. So you got to recruit enough of them when you get going to find a few that'll work. If you go out there and get one a month, that ain't going to do it. If you've been procrastinating, do it now. Don't wait. Well, I hope I've said something to spark a little something in somebody's mind tonight that put a little sense of urgency in you. Because, see, that's what this is all about. If I can just get one of you to really get out there and get after it and change your life, it's all been worth it. And that's what this business is about. Care about your people. And go through your business with this philosophy, because this is kind of the philosophy we've had. Don't walk in front of us, because we may not follow. And y'all don't walk behind us, because you see, we may not lead. But you all walk beside us and be our friend. God bless you all. Thank you.